Week 3 of the Texas high school football season is here. Starts tonight. There's games all across the state. I think it's 716. I think there's 716 games this week.
Nice.
In Texas high school football. It starts this week, or it starts tonight rather, with games scattered hither and yon. But of the 716, the Dave Campbell's Texas football crew has come together, gone into the lab, and we've spit out the top 10 games this week. There are 10 games in particular that I would need you to be paying a special attention to. Scattered all across state, all classifications, I think. With the exception, I don't know if there's a 4A game this week. But
doesn't look like it.
I don't think so. But without further ado, let's roll out the top 10 Texas high school football games this week. We'll start in the middle. A game you can watch live on TexanLive.com.
Yeah.
7 o'clock Friday at Galena Park ISD Stadium. It is the spring Westfield Mustangs taking on the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs in what is affectionately known as the Red Mustang Bowl.
Yes.
Number 2 versus number 7 in Class 6A. And this game will be, this of course was the game that North Shore lost last year. Westfield handed North Shore their only loss of the entire season.
Well, and snapped a 30-game losing streak, I think. Was that game? No, hang on. Different game.
30-game winning streak, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say losing?
Yeah. I was like,
I'm sorry.
I was like, no, I know for a fact North Shore did not lose 30 games in a row.
That's news to me.
That is.
No, I meant winning streak. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a long winning streak there for North Shore. And but this is a Westfield team, or it might be regular season, but this is a Westfield team that has been a wrecking machine the first couple of weeks. They've looked fantastic. Quarterback P.J. Hatter is one of the most underrated talents in the state. Going up and getting their shot at North Shore, who wants a little bit of revenge. So that game's going to be fantastic. 7 o'clock Friday night, and you can watch it live on TexanLive.com. Now let's bounce up to the top left and work our way around. Tonight in Denton, I believe Greg Powers is going to be at this game. He will be. 7 o'clock tonight in Denton. The Lancaster Tigers visit the Denton Geyer Wildcats. Lancaster coming off of a fantastic win over South Oak Cliff last week. Their defense has been really good, going up against a Geyer offense that has been really good. Kind of something's got to give here. I do want to see what this Lancaster offense can do against Geyer, because I do think that this is a Geyer defense that probably is a little bit underappreciated, underrated. But I think this game is going to be a lot of fun up there in Denton tonight, 7 o'clock Thursday.
Real fast, it was a 16-game winning streak. I was thinking of a game that we'll talk about in a second in Shiner.
Yes, that's exactly right. Friday, 7 o'clock Friday, let's bounce out east. 7 o'clock Friday night in Dangerfield, as the number 2 team in 3A Division 2 visits the number 1 team in 2A Division 1. It is Timpson taking on Dangerfield. When we were out in Beckville in the season opener, we were already looking at looking. Hold on a second, I got a text-ish. There you go. We were already looking ahead. When it became apparent that Dangerfield or that Timpson was going to run away from Beckville, we were already looking at the schedule like, 2 weeks from now, they go to Dangerfield. Yep. Here's the real test. Now, this is a Dangerfield team that has been terrific. They looked excellent last week against Tatum. But this Timpson team, I think, if they can punch up a weight class, then they would establish themselves as, in my opinion, the clear favorite in 2A Division 1.
Well, because we were already wondering if they were going to be the clear favorite, and that was before we knew that Shiner and Refugio were both going to struggle in the first week.
Yes.
But because that was a Thursday night game. It was one of the first games of the season.
This would be one of the more impressive wins in the state if they were to go on the road and beat Dangerfield. Of course, it's it's Terry Bussey. I almost called him Gary Bussey. Terry Bussey. Terry Bussey going up against this outstanding, very fast defense led by Bubba Hampton for Dangerfield. I'm very excited about that. Friday night in Arlington, 7 o'clock Friday night, the new back into the rankings, the number 23 Allen Eagles visit the number 9 Arlington Martin Warriors. The rankings would tell you that Martin's the favorite. I'm very interested to see what happens to Allen this week taking on a team on the road, a top 10 team, because I feel like we have two very different samples from them.
Oh, yeah. They got destroyed in week 1, and then they bounced back in a commanding fashion week 2, and now it's kind of like, okay, this is a good team, and you've had time to get your jitters out.
Right. So what exactly are they? We know what Martin is. Martin is a very sound football team that runs the ball exceptionally well. Their offensive line, I think, is going to challenge this Allen defensive front. Very excited about this one, 7 o'clock Friday night in Arlington. 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Shiner. Through another 3A versus 2A matchup as the number 4 team in 2A Division 1, the Shiner Comanches, welcome in the number 6 team in 3A Division 2, the Poth Pirates. We had the Poth coach Jeff Luna on scoreboard on Friday night, and I'm very impressed. They rolled Falls City, but going on the road and beating Shiner, Falls City's pretty down.
Yeah.
Going on the road and beating Shiner would still be a real feather in their cap if they were able to do that. For Shiner, they certainly shook off. If you didn't pay attention, they lost week 1 to Hallettsville, and then they roared back against Vanderbilt Industrial.
Also another 3A Division 1 team.
Correct. So this is a very interesting kind of measuring stick on where Shiner is in the 2A Division 1 rank. Again, they theoretically should lose this game because they're the smaller team. But I do think that this is a great measuring stick for both these programs. And I think Poth is a sleeper. Mm-hmm. I think they're a real contender there in 3A Division 2 Region 4.
I think this is the one I'm most excited for.
I'm very
this
excited
weekend.
about Poth and Shiner. Isn't Travis Buckner going there?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Grapevine. How about a top 6 matchup in 5A Division 2? The Argyle Eagles visit the Grapevine Mustangs. Argyle got that huge win over Lovejoy last week.
Mm-hmm. They look dangerous.
Yes.
They look very dangerous.
Yeah, they do. They looked excellent. Offense, rolling, looked every bit the part of a state championship contender. They've risen to number 1. Grapevine very quietly has put it together. Mm-hmm. Parker Polk, Evan Baum, they've been much more methodical. And in 5A Division 2, that's like all you have to do through the first couple of weeks to be like considered a real contender.
5A Division 2 is wild right now.
Here's this, in my opinion, represents Grapevine's chance to really jump into the mainstream. Mm-hmm. I think that Grapevine is one of those teams that I think everyone's like, okay, it's a good team, but like, are they really elite? Here's your opportunity to jump into that elite conversation as they welcome in the Argyle Eagles. Saturday, 6 o'clock in Katy, live on TexanLive.com. It is a state-ranked showdown in district play, a district opener in District 19 6A as the Katy Tigers take on the Katy Tompkins Falcons. Look, there's a lot of football to be played here, but I think there's a fair argument to be made that this is the district championship game.
I was going to say, this really, more than anything, I think solidifies who we will see as the second team in that district. I think Katy's the favorite. Again, not unlikely. But I think Tompkins could, if they can hang close with Katy, I think they can solidify themselves as like, okay, they're gonna get everyone else.
Totally agree. But I also think that, look, Tompkins is not going to go in scared. This has been a Tompkins team that's been very good. They've beaten Katy in the past. And so my question for them is, can they do it again? Now, Katy has looked very strong to start the year. The winner of this game will take command of this district. They will be at least in the catbird seat to win District 19 6A. So that's pretty big stuff there going down 6 o'clock Saturday, live on TexanLive.com. 7 o'clock Friday in Prosper, Children's Health Stadium will host a state-ranked showdown in 6A as the Rockwall Yellow Jackets take on the Prosper Eagles. Rockwall, steady as she goes. We thought there might be a drop-off after they lose their quarterback, Braden Locke. There has not been. And remember, they're doing this in a lot of ways without their starting quarterback. Lake Bennett has been hurt. So they've been kind of on their second and third string quarterbacks, but steady as she goes.
Well,
offense.
And Little Locke got to play some last week, too.
Did. Taking on this Prosper team that I think I'm interested. I would like to see a pamphlet. I'm interested in accepting their pamphlet and hopping on board their movement. That win over Euless Trinity in week 1 really caught everyone's eye.
But then Trinity looks down now after week 2.
They go and they drill Saxey, right? This is, to me, a real who are you type game. If they are able to beat Rockwall, then there's no doubt that this is a really good, really contending Prosper team. And by the way, this is the first of a double dip for them because next week they're at Geyer. So
I think this one will be pointsy.
I think there will be a lot of points scored in this one. 7:30 Friday night in Westbrook. We keep putting Westbrook on this graphic because they keep scheduling the most ridiculous schedule. As the 2-0 number 1 ranked Westbrook Wildcats welcome in the number 5 Rankin Red Devils. They've played Happy, they played Jonesboro, and they've played Rankin. And by the way, they still got Garden City on the schedule. Still got Ira down the road. But for Westbrook, they have done what they've needed to do to remain the number one team in the state. I mean, they have beaten Jonesboro, who really might be like the second or third best team in the state. They beat Happy, and now they get Rankin. And if they pull that trio, if they beat Happy, Jonesboro, and Rankin, they're going to be not just the number one team in 1A Division I. They will be the consensus number one team in 1A Division I. But this is a Rankin team that is dangerous. They're no stranger either. Remember, they had that week 1 win over Balmarais, which was the number 2 team in 1A Division II. So keep an eye on this game. I think this game actually has a chance to be a relatively low-scoring affair by six-man standards, like in the 30s or 40s, as opposed to in the 70s or 80s. Keep an eye on this one, 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Westbrook. And finally, rounding it all out, let's go up to Holiday, 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Holiday, top 10 matchup in 3A Division II, as the number 10 Idalou Wildcats visit the number 3 Holiday Eagles. Holiday, again, very quietly going about their business. 2-0. Defense has been excellent in their wins over Iowa Park, and then they beat Jim Ned last week. Defense has been fantastic. I like what Frank Johnson is putting together there. This is an Idalou team that I think last week got a really nice win over New Deal. And that's a 3A over 2A, but I still think that they got a really nice win over them. Going on the road to Holiday would be a real challenge. I think I would consider Idalou the underdog in this game, but we'll learn a lot about the newly ranked Wildcats in this matchup of top 10.
Exceptional logo matchup.
Oh, that too.
That's so good.
So there you have it, the top 10 Texas high school football games this week. Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.